Hey everyone, big news today. Adobe announced that it's going to be killing off its most infamous Adobe Flash software environment of the internet by 2020. What this means is, by the time of 2020, you no longer would be able to run any Flash content on your web browser, or at least they don't actually support you for running them. So let's make a clear distinction here. It's not that they're killing off Flash software. It's just that they're killing off Flash runtime environment, or they used to call that Shockwave Flash, but later on they call it Adobe Flash Player. And so no, in the future you won't be able to. They don't actually support. We won't even continue the Adobe Flash Player or even the Adobe Flash plugins to the web browsers. So what this means in the internet though, so according to sources, the Flash, usually the Google said, out of all the Chrome users they have, about 17% of them actually uses Flash content on day-to-day basis, whereas in the last 3 years it was mostly 80%. So it was from 80% 3 years ago, it went all the way down to 17%. This is mainly because of HTML5 standardization. Also, it's important to know that it's not the Flash software that's being killed, it's just the Flash player. But still, there's a lot of content creators who still depend on Flash softwares to create Flash HTML5 content, and that's still going on this day. So the reason behind why Adobe had to cut the lifeline of Flash Player was mainly because of its proprietariness. Because back in the day, Flash were the innovators who actually set the standards to multimedia on websites, and but it was all proprietary software. And people complain that the fact that it's proprietary and they're putting standards. So because of Flash itself, the Flash had to sort of set the standards, at the same time give away their proprietary software for open source. And most of the technology sort of evolved based on Flash. They use the concepts, or mainly they use the ideas of what the actual HTML5 needs to do in a web environment, similar to what Flash does. So what it means on the web itself though, so most of the websites are essentially just panned out. Most of the websites doesn't actually use Flash anymore, and by default most of the browsers actually disable Flash plugins. It's just the Flash plugins on the web browser itself that's going to be disabled. That means your websites that use Flash might not be supported in 2020s. But keep in mind, it's just that it's not being supported. It's not going to be killing off all the website in the internet just because they used Flash. People can still access them. There won't be any issues with accessing Flash websites. It's just that with time the support for the actual plugin would be deprecated. And that's about it. And people still use Flash, and I don't think it's kind of a big news / small news. Kind of everything changed and nothing changed. See you next time.